Some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. Here's Mitchell now to kick off the drive. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That's a pickup of 11 and a first down on their first offensive play. Well, there you go. This offense off to a strong start this afternoon.
Yeah, with a big run and a first down. That's putting what you practice into play. That's excellent execution to get things started.
On first down, they go back to Mitchell. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. The Ravens at 9-3 here on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
On second down, here's Mitchell. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Ravens need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. 7-0 is our score, ready for the dynamic kickoff as this one's away. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. On play action, Lawrence. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
Defense gives up a touchdown the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover or takeaway.
It's caught inside the 25. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. A gain there of 30 big ones.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They'll run for the first time with Saquon Barkley. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. They go play action with Lawrence. Eluding the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
One thing you always worry about when he breaks the pocket is he going to take off with it? That time, the pressure was starting to close in, and he's just got to throw this one away.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Flush to his right. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Now they send a man in motion right. Barkley trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. Barkley again, but he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So a conservative decision there, but it does put him on the board.
And I know the players hate it and the coaches hate it, but sometimes you just got to take the points when they're there. Sometimes a field goal is pretty darn good.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw is Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. You look at this Eagle defense. They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Going deep for Walker. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now Jackson. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it, and it'll be a turnover on downs. So they take a big chance here in their own territory, and you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter? I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Another try for Barkley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Here's Barkley. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal. The kick by Elliott is good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hole. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
Flushed out right. And Walker has it. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They go play action now. Jackson. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On 3rd down, it's Hill. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Steps away. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with the football. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. They go play action now. Lawrence. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Looking to throw, Lawrence. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 28 yards there, and give him a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Now Lawrence to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. The kick by Elliott is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. but it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They run over center with Mitchell. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 23 yards, the final tally. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
103 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. They go play action with Jackson out to his left. And this one is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. Flush to his right. And that'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Jackson from the shotgun. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll run with Mitchell. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Once more with Mitchell. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now is signaling a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Jackson now. Forced out to his left. There's Flowers. He's got it. Touchdown, Ravens. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And the lead is up to 5. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. At the line, this Philly offense set to go.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know...
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 33.
That one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4.
Play action. It's Jackson.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides, and there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
On third down, here's Hill. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. They'll pass up a field goal attempt. It would have been a 45-yarder. Now they'll go for it on 4th. That's to his running back, complete. Hill shedding the tackle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big pickup of 12 yards on 4th down to keep this drive from stalling.
So this offense able to convert on 4th. And now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10.
Now a shotgun handoff to Hill. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
And the Ravens are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Mitchell is going backwards here. Now they come in and drop him all the way back at the 4-yard line.
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Mitchell again.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great effort there. With his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Point after, right down the middle. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Running again with Barkley on second down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. Play action. It's Lawrence.
Dancing to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
We're in Baltimore. Third quarter action, 2nd and 10.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here. Looking deep downfield.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Nnamdi Madubuike. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Now Lawrence.
Being chased out left. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Here we go. Gotta have it. Lawrence. Lawrence hit and the ball is free. And this is going to be recovered by a member of the offense, but whistles come in. Remember, on 4th down, that becomes a dead ball if anyone other than the fumbler himself recovers. So it'll come back to the spot of the fumble, and that will mean that's going to wind up being a turnover on downs.
Escaping the pressure right. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson.
They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball. And that one was picked off.
On 1st down, Lawrence.
Flushed out right.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence.
And he'll take this back down inside the 20.
Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection, and now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's his 6th sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
Play action. Now Jackson eluding the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
And he is such a tough quarterback to defend because you got to remember, arguably, he's more dangerous outside the pocket than he is in it. But how about the job they did defensively to stay with the receiver and knock the ball away? I think they had a sigh of relief there because oftentimes when he gets outside the pocket, big plays result downfield.
On third down, Jackson. That's complete, left side to Bateman. Touchdown! Rashad Bateman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 19-point game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Adoree Jackson on the return. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. This has been frustrating for them to this point. They have not looked the same as they did coming in, riding that impressive 6-game win streak. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And now this one may draw a penalty. He just blindly threw that one to the sideline. And, yep, indeed, the flag is out. They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. Lawrence will throw. Going up top. And got his man. Complete. Down the sideline he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 91 yards. And the Eagles are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Elliott good with a PAT. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Jackson. Here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 27 yards there, a first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. And now it's 2nd down. Jackson. Underneath here to Hill. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the
and he'll go down. Nolan Smith in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
4th down, here's Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. But now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot.
This is caught inside the 15. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. Toward the pylon, caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Dallas Goedert from 10 yards out. And the Eagles have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line set to get going. This game is really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim 1-score lead.
We've seen this how many times now. Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Another run with Mitchell. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way down to the 9.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for because they'll need to continue to rely on him to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are closing in on win number 10 as they extend this 4th quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Here's Lawrence to throw. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
The nice thing is that you've still got all your timeouts, so the middle of the field, that should still be an option, especially if you see the defenders pinching the sideline. You can run a little seam route right here and pick up some nice yardage.
Here comes 2nd down. Barkley, inside handoff. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. This definitely 4-down territory at this point, but a critical 3rd down here. Lawrence.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go.
2 timeouts remaining, but time is of the essence. Down 2 scores. It's 1st and 10. Here's Lawrence. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Elliott on for the extra point. And this is back to a 5-point game. So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here. And who's got it? I think the Ravens do, yes. And they're going to win this football game. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the 4th.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time, ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Baltimore, it's a 10th win on the year as they move to 10-3. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, this could hurt in the race for home field advantage as they drop to 10-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.